He's a funny kind of guy for the kids to like.
I think he would fit, but no, he's a scorer and he's a nasty.
He makes personal appearances.
College last year. He
makes personal appearances.
Yeah, he's very big with the community. That's why I think he'll stay on the less money.
It is interesting how bad the Knicks are.
He would. I definitely, because I think he said he wanted to retire as a Knicks too.
The guy says all the time. Kyrie says he wants to leave. Guys say that all the time.
What Cantor's going to supply.
You can't believe what they're going to say.
What Cantor supplies to the Knicks is what they have needed, what they were in the 90s. He supplies them that muscle, and that's what Porzingis is going to need when he comes back. Unless Porzingis has put on another 30 pounds of muscle while he's off, he's going to need somebody to clear the lane for him to give him some room. And that's the player that Cantor is. And he'll take on that role.
Exactly, and then Kevin is right, and this is why. To add on to Kevin's point, everybody is just looking at college basketball and saying, oh, the Knicks need Zion. No, the Knicks do not need Zion. You can't have Kevin Knox, Porzingis, possibly KD, and Cantor. You can't be too big down there. The Knicks have to go for that, what's his name? Garrett, the point guard, the shooting guard, and that's what you have to develop. And like you said, and when you see how big Lonzo Ball is, you think, okay, Porzingis, come on, just add some muscle. Because Lonzo Ball, he's
bulked up.
He's bulked up now.
Got a whole tattoo sleeve he's getting
ready.
On the arm.
But
that's how I know that when I see Gonzaga's team all tattooed up, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? It's not the same. It's not my dad's Oldsmobile. It's like, yeah. Well, but Duke Krzyzewski sold his soul years ago. I love when I watch a University of Miami player playing, and he's 20-year-old Miami. He's got senior on the back, football player. Yeah. He's got senior on the back. No college kid should have senior on the back of his jersey.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I just think that, like you said, Porzingis is going to always need a big man unless he gets
the only thing is about Cantor is you got to be wary about what you're giving him in a contract, because the thing is with him, I love Cantor. He's so good offensively. He can rebound. Oh, he's such a stiff in the paint, though. He cannot play defense.
He's like Jerry Blevins. He makes a lot of money.
Oh, he just cannot play defense.
Cantor is not going to be our guy. Robinson is the guy that's going to be our guy.
No, that's why I think they let Cantor walk.
Yeah, Robinson.
But Cantor, that's why I don't want to give money to Cantor.
No, Cantor, I can tell Cantor's the type.
I love Cantor.
He's going to take less
him.
Yeah, Cantor will take less money.
Trade deadline. He's looking at the deadline.
No, he's not leaving.
What was the number?
They'll trade him.
29 wins? Was that the number you guys
they could get something back for him. They won.
29 was the number you guys
just can't play defense. That's his biggest problem.
Did the Knicks get 29 wins this year?
No. Knicks will get 29. You saying the Knicks will get 29 wins?
Will they get 29 wins?
You know what's the problem right now? The Knicks
they'll get maybe 21, 22. They're not getting 29.
Right now, the Knicks have 7 wins.
They'll get 22. Most max out for me is 22.
The Knicks are like 7-15, 7-16.
You don't want them to get 29 wins.
I'm happy. So I'm looking at the standings. I'm like,
they're getting blown out.
Here's what you want. You want them to stay. You want them to stay competitive and lose to every game. Because you need that draft pick. I'm sick of the Nilkinas and right now the way Kevin Knox is playing. I know it's early, but I'm sick of these 8th overall picks, 7th overall picks. I'm sick of that. We need a top 3 pick this team.
That's my point.
You can't build off a top 8 or 9 draft picks. You need a top 3 pick to build. And if you get that, that's something a free agent like an Irving or even a Durant could say, wow, look at that. They're going to get R.J. Barrett or Zion Williams. And they got KP. I should join.
In the draft,
why not?
Like the top 6, at least 4 of them will be Duke players, right? If we look at it now.
3, Barrett, Irving. No, what am I saying? Irving. Barrett, Williamson, and
4 of them will be
Cameron Reddish.
From the state of North Carolina.
You got Grimes.
Be the guy from Carolina.
You got Grimes from Kansas. You got the kid from North Carolina you were talking about. And then you got Ball from Oregon.
5 and 6 is going to be.
The problem with Ball is he's too scrawny and skinny. That's his problem.
Well, that's not a problem no more in today's
Have you seen his threes now?
That's
I've seen a lot of guys' threes. Let me tell you something. I'd rather go with the guy like Zion Williams who's already built up already.
But that's not everybody's
specimen. He's a physical specimen.
That's not everybody's game.
No, but I'm not. I don't want to go after a scrawny.
Kevin Durant been working out since he got in the league. And let me tell you something. If he's not smaller from when he got in the league, he's still small. But that's not everybody's game. And I'm just saying that. But of
course, he was standing next to Greg Odom, who looks like he's 80 years old.
That's true.
Look at Mike Conley. Mike Conley's got all this stuff going on.
Mike Conley sleeps on a bed of money every night.
He's like, I'm not going to do nothing. No. He's like,
zero All-Star games.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
Highest paid player in basketball.
That's like Tremaine Johnson for the Jets. Oh, sorry, we read about that today too.
We haven't got to the Jets yet.
He went to the Pro Bowl before.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
Tremaine Johnson been.
Speaking of contracts,
well, did we see Brandon Marshall's going to go to a playoff game this year?
Euro.
Speaking, he led the league in picks one year. How do you not go to the Pro Bowl?
Speaking of contracts,
he didn't go.
MLB Players Association extended Tony Clark's contract.
Oh, really? He does such a bang-up job as their head of the union.
I'll look for Tristan to make sure Tremaine Johnson did not go to a Pro Bowl.
Josh, I don't know if you heard me. MLB extended Tony Clark's contract.
Yeah, 3 years.
Now, let's start our football picks now, because I think we've got a lot of football to talk about. NFL football, that is. What's going on in the Cowboys-Saints game?
13-3. Saints got the ball.
Saints had to settle for a field goal. This is all the people putting the Saints on a pedestal.
Everybody said, oh, you don't think that the Cowboys could beat the Saints? I said, yes, I do. But everybody's like, oh, you have the Saints win the Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you why. The Cowboys are the perfect team to beat the Saints. Don't put the ball in Drew Brees' hand. Keep giving it to Ezekiel Elliott, because that's all you could do. And then Drew Brees is just sitting down.
Well, I've been watching the game. All the linebackers are playing the pass on every down. So it's.
I just got news confirmed. He's been to 0 Pro Bowls.
Let me check
none.
My sources.
His career highlights: 2-time FCS All-American and first-team All-Big Sky. The only two.
Where'd he go? Montana? Where'd he go to college?
Yeah, he did go to like a small school.
Well, Big Sky.
And I hate the comments that he said today. I feel no pressure. Are you kidding?
I don't even know who the guy is. He's on the Jets. I have no idea who he is.
He's the cornerback they signed.
The big money
Where have you been?
No, but I mean, if you're on the Jets, the Jets are filled. We said it last
Chris,
week.
You're supposed to be on fire.
They're filled with guys.
Everybody.
No, they're filled exactly. Nobody on that. Where are those guys going to play?
You don't want to know who.
Where are they going to play anywhere else in the NFL? They're not. It's just they're not going to play.
In 2015,
he led the league in interceptions. Doesn't mean
he led the league in interceptions.
That means they throw at him.
And he didn't go to the Pro Bowl.
That means they throw at him. When you lead the league in interceptions, it means they pick on you.
That means he threw at you a lot.
Yeah.
You lead the league in interceptions and you don't go to the Pro Bowl?
Why do you think Revis only averaged about 1 or 2 interceptions a year? Because they never threw at him.
Well, listen, that man is one of the greatest football players. I don't want to get emotional, but
he's got a Revis statue in his front yard.
Darrelle Revis, oh man.
But he didn't go to LSU.
I wonder if Darrelle Revis goes to the Hall of Fame.
That's my guy.
Huh? Do you think Darrelle Revis goes to the Hall of Fame?
I have a shirt.
First ballot.
Yeah, he has to be first ballot. Yeah, he has to be.
He's the second best corner to ever play.
How many football players?
You're going to say Deion, right?
Behind Deion.
You don't think he's as good as Deion?
Huh?
You don't think he's as good as Deion?
Everybody, listen. This is the thing. I didn't want Chris and Kevin to give me hell on the radio right now and say that because I was going to say Revis is better, but I just wanted to tone it down a little bit.
Well, we saw Darrell Griffith play too. Is that the guy from the Washington football team?
The Washington,
yeah, he was a wonderful.
Oh, he was good.
He was
that's a mess down there. We won't get into that one.
Wow, Reuben Foster.
Oh,
holy moly!
That's another situation.
It's like, are they trying to make all the? Because there's like 11 Alabama people like related to Alabama on that team.
Yard.
Are they trying to make him like the Alabama guys happy?
But they never spoke to them.
No. I don't understand.
All those players say, no, nobody talked to me.
He's got an active domestic abuse case. He's got a marijuana case too, but it's the laws are changing. But and he's going to play in the Beltway in the Capitol, and it's just a bizarre thing.
God rest his soul, guys. You know
Sean Taylor.
Oh man, Sean Taylor.
It's a shame.
Yeah,
that talent was different. He was different.
I agree. That's a shame that what happened.
What number was
21.
Yeah.
They retired his number.
Yeah.
I think it was he and Champ Bailey were on the team.
Champ Bailey. Was he 35?
He was with Champ Bailey.
Yeah.
After he died, Champ Bailey used to wear his number in practice every day.
And you know what number Deion was 21, but in practice, what number Deion wore?
2. Yeah, I was about to say it's a single digit. Yeah, 2. Yeah.
So let's do the picks.
Yeah, that's right, in the league where they play.
He wasn't feeling the Sean Taylor testimony.
So
this is WHPC Sports Talk. We're here every Thursday evening, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Over there is Mark Tukowski. Over there, Josh Silverberg, Kevin Boston Hill, Tristan Hamilton, Zach Calabrese. I'm Chris Muldoon. We do these picks every week. We don't keep track of who's winning and losing because because otherwise you wind up chasing your record. No one's giving. We're trying to get like unbiased opinions. What you really think is going to happen in the game, as opposed to trying to get a better score, better rate, standing or whatever. It's like we're all winners, we're all losers, mostly losers. So here we go.
So save a horse, ride a cowboy this week. The Cowboys are beating the Saints right now, 13-9.
Oh,
yeah, they scored a touchdown.
They just had a touchdown. They go for 2. I'm also tired of teams chasing going for 2 when they don't need to go for 2.
I agree.
That happened on. That's like don't chase it's the first quarter. Don't chase the points. Don't chase the points.
Do it when you need to.
Right.
Later on,
Exactly.
if it's a 3-point game,
do not chase the points.
That LSU call. I'm sorry, God. We got to do the picks. We'll talk about that call later.
But I will say
that Neil when he touched that.
Yeah, but with regard to LSU in that game. I don't think, because Alabama's winning every year, but name me, Reuben Foster, name me a great Alabama player in the pros right now. You can't.
Yeah.
Name me a great LSU player.
Do you want me to start?
CJ Mosley.
If I start right now,
is your household name?
Yeah, Josh. If I start naming LSU players, we won't get our picks in.
That's right. Though I'm watching football the other night, and somebody from Florida State called from University of Florida, one of the D-backs said DBU.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you better watch yourself, sir.
The one credit I have to say really quick was there was one year when Russell Wilson was the top offensive player and J.J. Watt was the top defensive player.
That was
1 year. I take that 1 year into pride.
That's great.
Yeah, that is great.
That Ron Dane will get you Heisman Trophy.
Don't you ruin it. Don't you ruin it. You know what? I was rooting for Notre Dame.
Do you know that changes everything? Whoever sees.
Can I tell you something real quick? My Notre Dame jokes are not radio friendly. So.
Can I tell you something real quick?
They're a little touchy.
Well, you still
two out of the top 3 defensive prospects in the NFL in the draft that's coming from LSU. We got Greedy Williams, the number 1 corner that's going to come out. I love that name, Greedy Williams. Let's take a moment to realize that.
He can be of Jet interest if he's...
And then we have Davis, the guy that they suspended for the Alabama game. He's the number 1 linebacker coming out also. So.
And that's the thing. So do you want to have a program that puts guys in the NFL?
That's what I'm saying.
And you can watch week in, week out and say, oh, he went to LSU. Or do you want to have a team that wins the championship every year for a bunch of rich Alabamans?
Because I know, if you ask the kids, they're going to be like,
Ed Orgeron? Do you like him as a head coach?
I do.
Right? You like him more than less?
Yeah, I like him more than less. I like when you say, go Tigers. Like,
with the raspy voice. Oh, it's scary. Do you like him more than less?
Yes.
And you like now coaching Kansas.
You like Kelly, right?
No.
Oh, you don't like
Brian. Brian Kelly? Yeah. He killed the kid.
I know he did.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, when he had the kid on the
lift.
Yeah. You made me laugh when you said that Les Miles.
What's a scissor lift?
It's if you ever watch a thing.
It's like a cherry picker.
I'm sorry. When I hear scissor lift, that sounds like a woman's contraption.
Oh,
what? What did he say?
Shut his mic off. Turn my mic off.
So we should have known from Wu-Tang that your mic should have been off all day.
Yeah. But
you crossed the line. When you said last week, I believe it was last week that Les Miles should just make sure that the check goes through, and then just end it. I just think that's so right. How do you pick a?
We all hate Nick Saban, though, right?
How do you pick the Kansas job?
We all hate Nick Saban, right?
You know what the thing is? I don't hate Nick Saban. You got to respect greatness.
I hate when Nick Saban puts on an Alabama accent. It's like Nick, you're from Ohio and Michigan.
Yes, thank you.
It's like Joe Namath did it too, but it's like come on, you're not from Alabama, Nick.
Chris,
anyway,
for you guys. I don't want to see Alabama
again. Before I go for the trifecta, say something really bad.
All right,
there you go. Yeah, Mark, please. Let's cut Mike. Let's cut Mark off.
I'm really tired.
Listen, we'll cut you off from 9 to 11 to 9 to 10.
I'm really tired today.
All right, let's go. Let's go, moron. I feel like I'm talking to my kids here. All right.
Wow.
I had Grandpa Morris called.
I mean, moron picks. M-O-R-E space O-N.
Okay. Panthers, who've lost 3 in a row, going over to play the Buccaneers.
They have to win that game.
Panthers.
Buccaneers at home.
Cam Newton played well last week. McCaffrey played well last week.
Did you see that post game? That's the first time I've ever seen Greg Olsen mad. When he was at that post game.
He always looks like he has a sour face, though.
No, he has a sour face, but he does. When I say he was mad, like that's the first time. First of all, I never even really heard Greg Olsen talk until the post.
He was one of the co-hosts of the NFL Combine when they did the tight ends. Yeah, he was pretty.
For the tight ends, okay, but that's right, that's good. But yeah, I got Panthers.
Buccaneers look pretty good this week.
That's good. I got the Panthers.
But the thing with Jameis Winston,
I got to write this down, don't I?
The thing with Jameis,
I'm enjoying your picks. I got to write this down. All right, so we got where's the game at?
Are you cheering about Van Wagenen coming on next week?
I got Buccaneers. I just think that the Panthers are ice cold.
Where's the game, Mark?
In Tampa.
Okay. He was at Pittsburgh, didn't you?
So who else is going Buccaneers?
No.
This is all of us Panthers, right?
All Panthers?
Everyone else.
All right, good. That was so Mark picked Tampa?
Yeah.
Good. Mark win that pick.
All right. Next one.
Next game up, Giants.
Giants what?
Go to the end.
Well, you're really tired, aren't you?
Mark.
Yeah, geez, Louise.
You think of Klein Bloom, aren't you still?
Bills, Dolphins.
Where's this game?
Miami.
Give me the Dolphins.
Oh, see, I'd love to have a December game where Miami goes to Buffalo.
No, but this is the thing. Both quarterbacks are back now, right?
Yeah, but Tannehill was
Tannehill's back.
They should have won last week.
And the Bills beat.
They should have won.
And then the Bills beat.
Bills are a different team with Tannehill.
Oh,
but it always allows me, Bills. Dolphins are a better team with Tannehill.
Didn't I say to you, Gase and Tannehill, for some reason, they work very well together with those two.
But it's funny because I always love having my joke that the Dolphins collapse is like Hanukkah. You don't know the date, but you know it's in December. I can't even use that this year. So it's like.
know what they said? They can't fire Gates because they said
people would hire him no matter where he goes.
He doesn't.
Oh, if he was available, I'd hire him in a second if I'm the Jets.
They said that he doesn't get to play with Tannehill enough.
So is anyone going Bills here?
Where's the game?
Miami.
Oh yeah, no.
I got to give Josh Allen this credit. He's starting to come off kind of like Baker a little bit with that swagger, and you could see it now. I see it like
when we get to the Browns, I got a lot to say about Baker.
I would love Darnold to have a little bit of that swagger.
That's not USC though.
That's not him. That's not
USC. I know it's not him. It's never going to be him.